Hey out there and welcome. I'm Kate. I know our setup looks a little bit different today, but if you clicked on this video, it's because you are interested in learning some stretches that you can do at your desk, whether you're at home or at work. Here are some things that you can do to focus on bringing some length into your neck, some release through your shoulders and your hips, and a little bit of length into your hip flexors. So you're probably already seated and at your desk, but if not, grab that quiet spot, roll out your desk, and I'll see you in a few. All right, so we're gonna get started. And the idea here is just to sit at the edge of your seat enough so you can have both feet flat on the mat. And you can take your hands into your lap for a moment here, or let your hands rest on your desk, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and take a moment to close your eyes and to just take a couple of breaths. Maybe at work you feel a little strange doing this, but everybody's worrying about what they're doing, so they're probably not paying any attention to what you're doing. So take a few moments before you start to work your stretches to just breathe, to feel your shoulders drop away from your ears, to feel your feet firmly planted on the floor, and to breathe. And sometimes this can make all the difference in the world, this pause in your day, this taking time to notice your breath. Okay, now from here, you can kind of let yourself settle a little bit. If you want, you can keep your hands resting. You're gonna take your chin and drop them down to your, drop your chins down to your chest. Oh goodness, and then rock your head a little bit side to side. And when you inhale, you're gonna roll your right ear up over your right shoulder and give your head a little shake when you get there. And then roll back down through center, let your chin come down toward your chest, and then roll your left ear up over your left shoulder. Same thing here. Feel your shoulders soften, both of them away from your ears, and then give your head a little shake so you get a little more reach through that left side. And then roll your chin back down to your chest. And when you inhale, you're just gonna lift your head, right? And I'm gonna spin around so you can see better what we're doing here. But now you're gonna take your right hand, let's start with the right side. Take your right hand, and you're gonna sit on it. Yes, I said it, you're gonna sit on it. So fingertips point in, and you're gonna sit so your palm faces the floor or the chair, right? So now we're here, feet planted, sitting on your hands. Take a breath. And then slowly start to drop your left ear over your left shoulder. And while you're here, let your left shoulder relax and feel some length in this right side of your neck, right? And then you're gonna start to push into the heel of your right hand, like you were gonna push yourself away from the chair. Yes, keep that. And you can deepen the stretch by taking your left hand to the side of your head and draw it over a little bit more to the left. And you can work any depth of stretch or any weight in this hand that you wanna go with. And then inhale, come back up through the middle, and you're gonna take that hand out from underneath, and you're gonna sit on your other hand. Left hand comes underneath, same deal. Fingertips point in, palm toward the chair here. All right, here we go. Take a breath. And when you exhale, now your right ear can start to hover over your right shoulder. Take a moment. All right, and now you're gonna press into the heel of your right, or your left hand, excuse me. The left hand roots down into the chair there, and you can take your right hand to the side of your head. And get a little more depth through the stretch, a little more oomph. Inhale. And when you exhale, same deal, you're gonna release your hand to your lap, let your head come back up through the middle, and come on off that left hand. All right, so now take your right arm and stretch it straight up toward the ceiling. You're gonna bend your elbow, walk your fingertips down the middle of your back. Grab a hold of your elbow with your left hand. And now you want to lengthen up through the crown of your head and take the back of your head wherever it presses into your arm. Maybe it's right into your wrist. Maybe it's toward the upper elbow there. Whatever. You're going to start to press the back of your head in your arm as you breathe here. Inhale. And when you exhale, you're going to release. Left hand down, take your right arm, stretch it straight up, and then bring it straight forward in front. Sweep it across in front of your chest. And you're gonna hook that forearm. I'm gonna move this. And you're gonna hook that forearm with your left hand. And give your head a little shake side to side here. You wanna keep the head of your right arm bone moving back as you reach through your fingertips, and then slide your gaze over your right shoulder. It's going to give some length through the back shoulder, through the back of your upper arm here. Then bring your head back through the middle. You can take your left hand to the side of your chair here. Sweep your left arm out and up, right alongside your ear. And we're going to take a little lean over to the side. Try to keep your feet firmly rooted on the floor. Keep this right side sitting bone pressing down into the chair. And then inhale, come on back up. And we're gonna do the other side, right? So left arm's gonna reach straight up. Bend your elbow, walk your fingertips down the middle of your back, and grab a hold of that elbow with your right hand. Lengthen up as much as you can, and then take the back of your head and you're gonna press it into your left arm. Breathe here. A lot of times the tension in your shoulders starts to travel up to your neck, and then that tension in your neck starts to give you tension headaches, all the sorts of things, right? So if we can stretch out the shoulders, we can kind of alleviate or at least work to undo some of that tension that gathers all the way up into your head. From here, you're gonna take your right hand to your lap, take your left arm, stretch it up straight, and then bring it forward and sweep it across your chest, and we're gonna hook with that right arm. Feel that top of that shoulder relax down. The head of your arm bone is going to stay plugged in. So you don't want to do this kind of thing. Try to keep your shoulder blade in your back. And then take your gaze over your left shoulder. And then you're going to bring your head back through the middle. Take your right hand down to the side of the chair here and sweep your left arm out and up. And so we can take a lean to the other side. Again, rooted evenly through both feet. Left side sitting bone's gonna lengthen down. You got it. And then inhale, come back up through the middle. All right, so now we're gonna do one little thing you could do to stretch your hips. Sometimes it might be hard if you're wearing a suit or if you're wearing a skirt, but we're gonna work around it. If you've got the if you've got the mobility here, you're gonna take your right ankle and cross it over the top of your left thigh. You wanna flex this foot and take a couple of breaths, right? You can lift up through your chest, sit as tall as you can here, and you can use your right hand on your inner thigh here to just gently press this knee down, but nothing too major. Right, if you want to go for a deeper stretch because you don't get a lot of juice here, you can always start to walk your hands forward and bring it into a fold. That's going to give you a little deeper stretch. And walk your hands back underneath you, come on up, and we're just going to switch sides. Right, take your other ankle up and over, and you can always stay upright and use that hand to encourage this external rotation through that hip. And then if you want to, if you've got the space and you want a little deeper stretch, you can walk your hands forward on your desk and fold into it. All right, and then from here, you're gonna come on up, place both feet on the mat again, or on the floor, right? And we're gonna roll forward, and hopefully you have a little bit of space on your desk. You're gonna bring your forearms onto your desk and spread your fingers. We're gonna do a couple of rounds of cat and cow here, right? Some spinal flexion. So when you inhale, you're just gonna arch your back and look up. And then exhale, can round and just curl in. Inhale, same thing, gonna lead with your chest. Arch, take your gaze up, and exhale and round. Start to loosen up the muscles in your upper back. One more. You're gonna curl up Again, leading with your chest. Let your gaze be the last thing that comes up. And then come on back into it, round. And then come back to your neutral spine. And you can do as many of those as you want. In fact, that's probably just a good thing to kind of loosen you up throughout the day. So before we stand up, I'm going to show you a twist that we can do here. So with your feet flat on the mat, you can just take the mat. I said it again. Take your left hand across to the right edge of your chair and then sit tall, and you're going to grab the back of your chair with your other hand, right? Sit up tall, and you can use the leverage of the chair to pull you into a twist. Again, feet firmly planted. And then come back through the middle. You're just gonna switch sides, right? Slide your other hand across to the outer edge of your chair there. Sit nice and tall, and then sweep that arm back, grab for the back of your chair, or even the side of your chair, or the lower edge of the back of the seat. Sit up tall, and come on into your twist. And then come back through the middle. So one of my favorite poses to do is down dog. It just feels like a really kind of neutralizing. When I hit my mat and I do a down dog, I feel like I'm ready. So obviously we're not gonna do that because that's a little, that might be a little much. You can always throw down a down dog if you feel comfortable, but we're gonna do one in the chair. So you're gonna take your chair back a bit, right? And then bring your hands onto the desk. Spread your fingers shoulder distance apart with those hands, and you're gonna start to kind of pull yourself back a little bit. So now from here, you wanna take the backs of your upper arms, like those triceps, and roll them in toward your ears. Press into your hands with those fingers spread wide. Upper arms keep lifting away from the floor, just as they do in your regular Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. You're gonna let that space between your shoulder blades soften. You can take your gaze forward. You can let the weight of your head hang down. Once again, working into the backs of the upper arms, through the upper back, maybe even a stretch into your low back. Take another breath. Then you can walk your hands in just a little bit to help you up. And now we're gonna come on up to stand. Right? You can push your chair in, or you can use the edge of your desk. So from here, you're gonna grab the chair or your desk and step 1 foot back. It can go back like 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet, just enough so we keep the front knee balanced over your ankle. And you want this back foot out at about 45 degrees. So this is like a warrior one kind of a pose here. Just gonna work that outer edge of that back foot into the floor. That's it. And then you can take a little bit more weight forward, and you can kind of play with shifting your weight and your hips forward a bit, and then pulling your hips back, and kind of rock back and forth. So you get a stretch through your calf and maybe a stretch through the front leg here. Just a couple of times, just to bring a little bit of something, right, into your legs. Then we're gonna end up right here and just hold this for a breath or two. And if you feel steady and you wanna come away from your desk, you can come away from your desk. And then step forward. And we switch, step that other foot back. Same deal here, right? About, I don't know what that is. Maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet apart. You wanna feel your tailbone scoop down and root evenly through both feet to start. And then you can play a little bit, rock your hips forward. You can deepen the bend in that front knee, take more of the weight into this back hip flexor. And then you can work back, maybe straighten the front leg, and a couple of times moving forward and back. That's it. And then we're gonna land once again with your knee stacked over your ankle. Feel your shoulders stack over your hips, and you can engage your abdominal muscles just a little bit here. Maybe even bring your hands to your hips if you want. You can bring your hands overhead. That's a super pose, right? Get you fired up. or you can just keep your hands on the chair. You're gonna step that back foot forward. And then last but certainly not least, one of my absolute favorites. If I said that about every single stretch, I don't know, it's possible. You're gonna walk your feet back a little bit so you're, I don't know, 2 feet away from the back of your chair or your desk, depending on what kind of chair you have here. If it's level, then you're cool. If it's rounded, then you're gonna have a problem and you're gonna want the desk. But you're gonna take the backs of your elbows to the chair or to the desk. So my elbows are slightly more narrow than my shoulders. It just feels good on my body, right? Then you're gonna walk your feet back a little bit until you feel like you're almost in an L, right? Engage your abdominal muscles. Feel where your arm bones kind of plug back into their sockets. And then you're gonna start to drop the weight of your chest down. You can start to bend your knees. The idea here is just to bring some movement into your body. So you can kind of pedal side to side. You wanna find something that feels good in your body, because that's kind of the point, right? Take another breath here. You can take your gaze forward, looking toward your desk or the chair. And then you're gonna press into your elbows, walk your feet in. Come on up. And while you're here, release your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and lift your chest. And then you can grab the back of your chair, pull it out, take a seat, and go about the rest of your day. So hopefully that's helpful. That's a quick, 15-ish minutes to get you up and moving. You can kind of pick and choose throughout the day what you'd like to do and find out what works for you and kind of make variations on the theme, right? So thanks for joining me. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Like I said, this isn't typically my kind of style of class. I don't normally have a desk here. So you can check out some of my other videos and see what you think. And if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, give me a comment, or subscribe. Thanks so much. I look forward to practicing with you again soon.